Dad started our business in 1971. He started the business as a watchmaker to create a watch that was made for Australia by Australians, and so that continued all the way through. We outsource all over the world to the best component makers. We bring all those components into our factory here in Brisbane, and then we combine those high-end components into create each one of our Adina watches. The goal was to create a watch that the men and women who are heading underground, especially up in the Bowen Basin, they could put on and wear with confidence, knowing full well that they're going to get to work on time, but whilst they were down there doing what they needed to do, the watch that they were wearing was going to be reliable and was going to be durable enough to handle probably one of the most inhospitable places on earth. No project, when you're working with watches, evolves over a short period of time. We probably worked on it for about 18 months to get the design right, and for testing. Because it's a mechanical watch, we like to regulate them. That means improve the timekeeping attributes of the particular movement. We're using the Swiss-made 2824 ETA movement, which has been the workhorse of the watch industry for probably the past 40 years. It's a super reliable, super robust movement that just gets the job done, So, but we like to improve the factory settings of it, so when they go out of our factory here in Brisbane, they can offer the best possible timekeeping. So when we designed this particular watch, we knew, well, I guess we had an inkling of what it was going to be up against. To maintain the integrity of it was going to be critical. So we're always going to use a sapphire glass, highly scratch resistant Swiss-made sapphire glass. We wanted to make it waterproof, so it's 100 meters water resistant. So we've used the screw crown. So that's the premium method to water and dust proof a watch. We've used a cold stamped stainless steel case. So what that means, it's a case that's been stamped out of solid stainless steel. It then gets annealed, heated through, so it hardens the steel. Once the steel gets hardened, it then gets drilled through and cut out and then polished. What you're doing by using a cold stamped stainless steel case is you're providing a very stable base to waterproof it. So through heat and cold, you're not going to get any expansion and contraction of the steel case. We've also utilised a solid end piece. The spring lug that holds a band to the case, it can be considered a weak point in a watch. So what we wanted to do is cut down the torsion of the band by putting a solid, but we still wanted the band to be able to break if it came under increasing force, so as not to injure the person that was wearing it. And then we put at the heart of it a Swiss-made automatic movement. So we've also incorporated a clear back that you might be able to see there. So if the safety officer ever pulled you up at the gate, you would be able to just take your watch off and flip it over and show that you are wearing a mechanical watch. So you're set to go to work type of thing. But in saying all that, we've also used a lot of luminous, so if the lights were to go out, you'll be able to still see the time, no worries at all. And the power reserve on one of these Swiss-made automatic movements is about 2 days. So we're to take it off on your days off. And being a Swiss watch, you just give it a wind, pop it back on your wrist, and you're off, ready to go again. Well, luckily enough, we don't see a lot come back. The ones we do come back, it's just usually in for a bit of a service and a bit of love. And when I see these watches, I'm just stunned at what they've been through. They've been so knocked around, but the beauty of like the components that we're using, especially things like a sapphire glass, you're seeing hardly a mark, if any marks at all, in the glass. The cases I've seen, I didn't really realise how much acidic water is being used actually at the coal faces, and you see some of these watches that haven't got a single bit of polishing left on them, but usually they're just in for a bit of a service, change out the seals. Being a mechanical watch, it still needs love. They just can't go forever. You still need to do a grease and oil change every now and again. But the beauty of that mechanical watch is that, and especially an Adina mechanical watch, is we've got all the parts here on it. We've got a team of watchmakers that can not only service the watch, but are also building them, so they know the watches from the ground up, so to speak. Well, each one of the team that joins us in both production and in our repairs division is a watchmaker or is a watchmaker's apprentice. We've never gone down the road of just getting a technician, so to speak, in inverted commas, to get involved. Dad and I feel very, very strongly about the bringing on of young people through our business and teaching them the trade of watchmaking. And for us moving forward to look after and service all the watches that we produce every year and the years gone by, we need a very highly skilled. And yes, it's more expensive to do that here in Australia, but by maintaining our workforce here in Australia and the standard of their ability, we can then ensure that our watches maintain the standard that Dad set in 1971 into 2019, 2020 and the decades moving forward. Yeah, we've had some mines purchase the watches as safety awards, which has been a nice thing. We did a job for Anglo, which they used it as a safety award. We did a job for a mine out the back of Narrabri a couple of years ago that they wanted all their staff to be wearing this particular watch because they were so impressed with the attributes of it. We're doing more and more of these limited edition runs that can be used for years of service, but still can be used in a day-to-day. You know, although we've designed it and made it for an underground application, it's also a watch that someone who wants to be really hard on a watch and wants a mechanical watch, it's perfect for that, being waterproof. It's nice and clear. It's something that can last, well, hopefully forever, you know. Dad's always been really, really, you know, high on quality. So we've never substituted quality for price. We've always tried to chase the best possible components to go into each of our watches. So when the finished product comes together, anyone who buys themselves an Adina is, well, we like to say, have an Adina for life. And they're going to tell their friends and they're going to tell their friends. We're lucky enough to have the support of a huge network of retailers nationally. We've got about 350 retailers nationally that are selling Adina watches. Many of those are, as I said earlier, are family businesses and independent retailers. So they've got the ability to give you a really good insight into the watch and how we put it together. But especially it'll be in stock in any of the mining areas.